Hello, my name is Talesian, and I want to take a little time now that Season 4 for Diablo 4 is finally here to give my initial impressions for those who are on the fence about re-downloading the game or for acquiring it the first time. Now, my initial launch of the game on my end went very smoothly. The patch was extensive at around 4 gigabytes, but it downloaded fairly quickly on my connection, and I was in the game with no issues. I didn't have any server issues, and I was playing pretty much the entire time I was streaming, no problems. Now, one of the first things I did was log on to an older character to see what had changed there. And to my surprise, all of the aspects that I had in the bank were automatically added to my Codex of Power. Let me tell you, that was a wonderful surprise, as it freed up several pages of stash tabs that were full of various copies of aspects that I had used on previous characters. Then I started my initial character, Sorceress, and I started my seasonal journey. Now I went directly into the Hell Tides at level 1 on World Tier 2. One of the major new changes was which was introduced in this patch was the ability to go to the Hell Tides early on. Now, my initial leveling experience was fairly nice. I took out an event or two and leveled up fairly quickly. Then I headed to the Iron Wolves encampment to start the seasonal questline. Once I was there, I was introduced to the faction board for the Iron Wolves, where you gain faction with them from primarily defeating foes in the Helltide. Now I was getting anywhere from 1 point for killing elites to several hundred for wiping out one of the new Helltide bosses. Now, I didn't get a chance to try out the new event utilizing the Baneful Hearts, which is a new drop from some of the chests of mysteries. But I did get my threat meter, which is another new change for the Helltide, up to max, and I had to survive the swarm of mobs, including several Hellworms and killing a Hellborn. Overall, my experience was much better than any other Helltide, and it reminded me a lot of the Blood Harvests from Season 2, with their mini events and swarming of mobs. After that, I went through several dungeons to start collecting aspects, and they were basically the same. Find bloodstones and keys, open doors, kill mobs, kill the boss. Though I have not seen a Tomb Lord yet. Also at this low level, I have not run into the Butcher yet this season. Now, as I was going through the dungeon getting those aspects, I was getting loot, but at a much lower pace than previous seasons. I didn't feel the need to go back to town one or more times during a dungeon run, which I had before, which I thought made it a much more streamlined experience. On the other hand, gold seemed to be much more difficult to come by as well. I wasn't swimming in gold as I was in previous seasons. I also managed to get several of the tempering manuals, and I did some tempering of a few items. With the lower drop rates, I found that I had fewer resources, but I think at that initial level, that's a good thing. I feel that by the time tempering becomes much more common, when you hit World Tier 3 and 4, get to level 50 or so, you'll have much more gold and the mats that you need, so that while you may have to make some choices, they won't slow your character down to the point where you feel that your progression has come to a standstill. Now, I was only able to play for about 5 or 6 hours or so, and while I was not a fast player, I did manage to get to level 30, and enough points in my skill tree that I felt my character power was about right. At level 15 on my Sorceress, I got my first enchantment and unlocked my second one at level 30. I felt a nice bump in power at both those instances, and I felt my journey there was rewarded appropriately. Overall, at least from my initial feelings, if you're on the fence about re-downloading or buying your first copy of Diablo 4 for the new season, my personal recommendation is a very solid yes. The new leveling in Helltides in World Tier 1 and 2 was very nice and not overly difficult, even running the events at sub-level 10. The Iron Wolves questline was interesting, and the rewards were worth the effort to acquire. The new tempering system, I feel, is a nice improvement over the old equipment improvement system. And even if you're a returning player, on the Eternal Realm, if you have a bunch of aspects in your bank, they will be automatically rolled over into your codex, so you'll have a nice bounce in power there. So thank you very much for watching this video. Now, today is Wednesday, May the 15th, and I will be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch around 4 p.m. or so. If you like this video, please subscribe to me here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Talesian. And please also join me on my Discord server. The links to all of these will be down below. On my Discord, you'll find channels dedicated to the games that I play, news for those games, and a place where you can meet fellow gamers and form groups and guilds. Have a great day, and let's get out there slaying demons.